goodness, my goodness. I was here and then I tried to turn stuff on and then it wouldn't turn on and then I had to do something else and then I had to start over and I turned it off and then I came back on. My name is Jenna. This is 11:11 with Jenna. I'm here 7 days, 7 nights, 14 times a week, and it is Saturday, December 17th, and I just did a gig in Sawyer with Matthew Freeze at the Side Yard. And I drove home and got home at about 11:09, and then just bam, 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 plugged in, unplugged, put stuff up because I used stuff at the gig, and then I came home and I'm here, and then Zoom started doing what they do, and things just, we're gonna call right now, 11, and I'm here. And it is one more Saturday night, and ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, what? Gary Lambert in the house! Woo! Yes, it is. Hey, Mary, I just saw you. So cool. Hey, Rob Morocco. Woo! Gary Lambert. What's up, everybody? Michael Bartoloni. Hello there.
I think I'm muted. Am I unmuted?
You're unmuted. You are here. We are here together.
Good.
Hi.
How are you?
Whew. Just got back from the gig, felt like old times coming home from the gig, unplugged and plugged everything back in, and I'm here.
Well, good. I'm here too. In Yonkers.
Yonkers. How's Yonkers?
Yonkers is fine. Yonkers has been kind of cold. And there was actual snow. I had my first scraping the damn snow off the damn car experience a couple of days ago. That was something I hadn't done in some time.
Yeah, I did that today.
Yeah. But
yeah. Whew. Yeah.
Generally I'm good.
Good. So Yonkers, you're in a house?
It's a like
a house made into apartments.
Yeah, I don't know if it was ever a one family house. I think it's always had these different units. And we're on the second of 2 floors, and it's very cozy.
Have you met the people above you and below you?
I have not. There are no people above. There's people below, and I think there's also a little like professional office of some kind on the side, but I haven't seen anyone go in and out of there. But my hosts here say the neighbors downstairs are very nice. They have some boisterous kids who you may hear a little bit, but no, not this time of night.
That kind of stuff? Running around?
Yeah, a little that kind of thing is running around, but very nice.
But no one's above you?
No one's above me. That's always good.
I like that. Have you seen my new cup?
Oh, wonderful. I love it.
Thank you, Dave and Ruth Love.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had a great gig tonight with Matthew Freeze, Professor Matthew Freeze, professor of jazz piano at Western Michigan University. Good night, Marty Bartoloni. Hello, Mary. I just saw Mary Manti. This is a first, I think, where I've seen someone at a gig and then came home to do 11:11, and now they're on the show, I think.
Well, hi. Hello.
Hi, John. Hello. So when you walk out your door in Yonkers, do you go left or right to get a good cup of coffee?
I've been drinking most of my coffee right here, but there's no real.
A good piece of pizza. What about a good slice of pizza?
Basically, this is in a neighborhood where you pretty much have to get in the car to go someplace. It's not like a real business intensive. Yeah, it's not many minutes away from various establishments of eating and drinking, but it's not, especially this time of year, it's not really a great walk. So also, I don't know my way around here at all. I basically know the way off the highway into this house. And actually today I found a good, decent Mexican place about 4 minutes away by car. So I drove down there and got takeout.
Which is not something you would really say in New York up until the last few years, I have to say.
No, but New York has really upped the Mexican game in recent years. There are some really excellent places. Yeah,
Yeah, but like 15, 20 years ago, you go to have Mexican in New York, you go,
no,
no, I'm not going to have Mexican. Let's go have Mexican. I'm like,
yeah,
no, I'm not
yeah,
gonna.
yeah. You had to go to some pretty remote places. Neighborhoods in Brooklyn were always in the game. Uh, Places like Sunset Park, and there was a really good taqueria like behind the Port Authority bus terminal. You know,
Oh, I
very
know
sketchy
that.
neighborhood.
That's a
Remember
good
that place?
place. Oh yeah.
I think it's gone now. I think it
Oh,
is
I
gone, but
love that place. There was a
yeah.
fish place down there too, where I
Mhm.
used to buy fresh fish right behind Port Authority, and
Yeah.
we'd have lunch with them. There was this woman that I can't think of her name this very second, but she was affiliated with the band that we were in
Uh-huh.
back in the day.
Yeah.
And she took me to this fish store, a fish mongrel place, but they would
Mhm.
make lunch in the back.
Oh, wow.
Would go have lunch with them in the back. Dennis McDonald's here. William D. Lindemann. Carl's here.
Hello.
Bruce is here.
Hello, all.
Diane is here.
Hello.
Michael
Hello.
Phelps is here. Hi, Michael. Hey, hey, hey.
It's a good group.
It is a good group. So what did you do today?
Today was largely motionless. Uh
I love that.
um
Motionless.
yeah, last week was real you the I couldn't do the show last Saturday, you might remember, because I was at a Broadway show that was about to close and it involved family. So I needed some hang time after the show with family. But that was the fourth in a 4 events in 3 days run that I went on. So that was a very culturally intensive little thing. The first thing I did was on Thursday, I drove to Philly, where I had not been in some time, and Philly's a great town, because Nels Klein and other guys from Wilco were doing a show of their side projects. Not Jeff Tweedy, but Nels and Patrick, the guitar player, the other guitar player, and John, the bass player, were all playing with their own little things, which was really, really nice. I'm really glad I went.
Where?
Uh, a place called the Ardmore Music Hall, which is actually not in Philly proper, but a little bit northwest of Philly.
I have a friend that lives about a block away from there. I've been there.
It's a
Super.
sweet little venue. It really is. So, and a lot of friends of mine have played there, and I've heard great things about it, and it lived up to that. Uh, and then on Friday, what did I do Friday? I remember what I did Saturday. Uh, well, it'll come back to me. Yeah, that's like anything more than a week ago is a blur at this point. But
But your cousin wrote a musical.
well, my cousin directed a musical. I have two cousins who have had shows on Broadway, both of which have run far shorter than they deserve to because of the hideous economics of Broadway, where almost nothing that doesn't have Disney above the name, or maybe a movie star gone slumming on Broadway. It has to have enough business to like generate tremendous advanced sales to carry it beyond. So shows get good reviews and they still close in a matter of weeks. The last several Best Musical Tony Awards have closed and have lost money. It's really, really strange. And it's I heard, Trey Anastasio wrote a musical,
Right.
or co-wrote a musical, which was lovely, a lovely show, got decent reviews, and it just couldn't sustain a run. And
Now,
at
what
the
is the
time,
run? What's the normal run time? A whole year?
yeah, hold on. Someone's knocking on the door. One of my hosts came home. Hold on. Be right back. Vamp for the audience.
I'm vamping. I'm gonna vamp you. Remember when Lucille Ball did that? And I Love Lucy. I'm gonna vamp you. And he said, I want to be vamped. What does vamped mean? I had so much fun at my gig tonight. Can you imagine? My brother's at the door. It was like being, like a Mammina gig back in the day, except it was my nephew's venue. My nephew and his wife Alex have a bar called the Side Yard in Sawyer, Michigan, and I'm going to be playing there this summer, and I can't wait. We have a venue.
Anyway,
We just have another venue. It's so cool. Okay, I was vamping.
Well, we were talking about Broadway. Yeah, I mean, I told you about that Irene musical, The Young Irene Cara was in, that closed in 4 days. Um, if a show runs a year, it's a lot these days. I mean, then you have like Phantom of the Operas, and it's like its 35th year. Lion King has been 20 something years. Cats, yeah, there are those shows that have these massive, immensely successful runs, but the average show, what I heard, I think around the time the Trades show opened and failed, was that a show has to gross a $500,000 a week just to break even. And it's about the expenses. I mean, the union requirements, and God knows every union worker on Broadway should make what they're worth.
Started to rehearse, to
Yeah,
get the people to hire
yeah,
the talent, and
yeah,
then to
yeah,
rehearse it,
yeah.
and then to
And
run
and
it.
the yeah, yeah, it's insane. And of course, the ticket prices have gotten more exorbitant to try to cover that. And that also makes Broadway less affordable, and it stops attracting newer audiences, and only a few shows that are usually successful sort of suck up all the oxygen. I mean, Hamilton is going to run forever, as it should. But it makes new work very difficult. And this show,
It's kind
that
of business.
the show that my cousin Teddy just directed, was an incredible thing because, well, they did it off Broadway very successfully a few years ago, and it's called K-pop, and it's about the musical phenomenon K-pop, Korean pop music.
Sure.
But it really gets into the, like, how incredibly exploitive it is of these young people who they start training from their pre-teens to be pop stars. And it's a very intense show, but it's also musically so joyous, and the dancing and the music is so incredible and infectious. But it's the first show ever on Broadway to have like an entirely Asian American creative team. Except, well, my cousin is obviously not Asian American, but the writers, the people who wrote the music and the book, and all the actors, except there's like one Anglo actor, but almost everyone is Korean American or Asian American.
How crazy cool is that?
And incredible performances, just an amazing cast. And they got some very respectful reviews, but for some reason the guy in the New York Times decided to be snarky about it, because he didn't understand the phenomenon. He didn't understand the cultural underpinnings of it. So he kind of put it down. And if you get trash in the Times, that's enough by itself to kill a musical. So it ran I think 16 previews and 18 regular performances, and had to shut down.
And how
also,
long have they been working on it?
well, as I said, it was done off Broadway in a very different form about 5 years ago, I think, and got raves and did very well, but it was a limited run. They knew it was going to be a limited run. And then they started adapting it for Broadway, maybe a couple of years ago, and put all this work into it. And the direction my cousins direct. This is the son of my first cousin, so it's like this is a guy in his 30s and brilliant. Every theater piece he's done has been amazing. So I was immensely proud, but it was also like, I found out the show was going to close. They announced it a few days before the closing, so I got myself there to see it, and I'm glad I did. So, but it's really sad. Now, that afternoon, in my cultural orgy, I went to a movie theater and saw one of these. The Metropolitan Opera does these live HD transmissions to theaters around the world.
So
well, I went to see this new opera adapted from the novel and later the movie The Hours, the movie that had Nicole Kidman, and
they were doing it here also.
yeah, and stunning. I mean, Renee Fleming, who's goddess, was she was in the Meryl Streep role. Joyce DiDonato, who's a longtime lead soprano at the Met, was the Virginia Woolf, the Kidman role, and the middle one, the 1950s housewife role played by Julianne Moore in the movie, was Kelly O'Hara, who is primarily known as a Broadway musical star. She's done revivals of South Pacific and The King, but she's operatically trained and absolutely mind-blowingly great soprano. So that was a really great thing to see. That's I think there's going to be another screening of it sometime soon.
I love when they do that. I've seen a couple at Notre Dame, and then they started doing it at the theater in my hometown. And so
Yeah,
I've
it's great.
gone to 3 of them.
It's really great to see that on the big screen with incredible,
And you can
incredible
see the
sound.
background, the back, like them in the back and them putting stuff
Yeah, they
on and
right. They do a little interview segment during intermission with the performers, and I love it. As you walk into the movie theater, you hear like the orchestra's tuning up, so it's like you get immersed in it right away. You know, it's really beautifully done, and the productions. I mean, the Met always does stunning stage productions, but the video production, the camera work, and everything is just incredibly brilliant. So that was a great thing to see.
I'm trying to I have them written down in a book. So going back to your cousin's
Yeah.
his K-pop, were any of the music, any of the people that were in it, the actors, were any of them K-pop trained
Yes, yes,
musicians?
yes. I think the woman who is the lead female role, I think actually is something of a K-pop star herself. And she was amazing, just so charismatic and brilliant. And yeah. And it's just it worked on so many levels, and it's really sad that it didn't work commercially.
Will they try to do it again?
I hope so. I hope so. Now this has happened twice to this same family because my cousin Teddy's dad, Andrew Bergman, has had an incredible career as a movie screenwriter and director. He wrote Blazing Saddles with Mel Brooks. He wrote The In-Laws with Peter Falk and Alan Arkin, one of my favorite movies ever, one of the best comedies ever. He wrote and directed The Freshman with Matthew Broderick and Marlon Brando. And then he did Honeymoon in Vegas, the movie Honeymoon in Vegas, and he adapted Honeymoon in Vegas into a musical with a great composer and lyricist named Jason Robert Brown. And this musical opened on Broadway and got the full-on rave from the New York Times, like the absolute this is the rave you dream of kind of review. And so when that happened, I said, "Oh, great! This is great because tomorrow, in this Sunday, there'll be like the big double page ad in the New York Times with all the raves on it." And the producers totally dropped the ball. They had no marketing plan, and they spent all the money getting the show up and running, and then they totally fumbled it when the show needed, and it didn't have. I mean, the biggest star in the cast was Tony Danza, who's wonderful, but he played the James Caan role, and he was terrific, but he's a TV actor. He's not on that level of a movie star who can open a show. So it didn't last. It didn't last nearly as long as it deserved either. But
And
it
then
was a
have
wonderful.
they ever attempted to revive that?
I think that show is going to have like a touring life. It'll play in regional theaters, and it could come back to Broadway
I would
someday. But it's
about the K-pop one for sure. I love K-pop. I love the
yeah,
whole concept, and I've
yeah,
read articles. And I think now that you're saying this, I know that I read about the musical too.
yeah,
Just didn't put that together with you. And then last week you're like, sorry, but my family. I'm like, dude, have a blast with your
yeah,
family that has a show on Broadway.
yeah,
Wonderful.
yeah. And the circumstances were so, like the fact my cousin Andy and his wife, Teddy's parents were there, and so I said, oh, I really got to be with them. And also we didn't get to be at Thanksgiving together. It's the family I always spend Thanksgiving with, and because Andy got COVID, we didn't get to have Thanksgiving together this year. So this is our little surrogate moment.
How wonderful.
It,
And
it was it was wonderful and sad.
yeah, no wonder today you were motionless.
Yeah, today. I mean, this week I've been running. I've been doing a lot of stuff, and still the final. I mean, my final responsibilities in dealing with the house and stuff are over, and that's just waiting for the last shoe to drop with the closing. So the date on the contract was on or around the 15th, which is now 2 days ago. So it could be any moment, but I have no control over it.
So the place you're at now, are you staying here indefinitely until you make your
I don't,
next bigger move?
I don't think it's indefinite because I'm cognizant of wearing out my welcome. So what's happening actually is later this week, my friends Ken and Maureen are going out of town for a week. So it'll turn from a house guest to house sitter for that period.
Where you're at now.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
and then and then when they come back, I already have uh an invitation from friends up on Cape Cod,
That's
which
right.
will be really nice. So I'll bum myself a couch somewhere else.
God, how lovely in the wintertime. It'll be so
Yeah,
quiet and beautiful. And
Cape Cod is gorgeous in the wintertime. It really is. So
have
yeah,
we have some friends there. Well, Carla Kilstad is there.
I know I'm going to try to see if they're around. I'd love to see Carla and Matthias. They're not too far away from where I'll be.
And John Evans lives there. John and his wife are
Yes, yes, yeah. John collaborates with Carla on stuff.
there.
I know,
Hi.
and also so two of
Stop.
my
Marshall
very
Lamb is here. Marshall Lamb is here. Oh my
Marshall Lamb is here.
God.
Hey,
Hey,
Marshall.
Marcy. We love you, Mark.
Yes, we do.
Sorry,
Also,
I got all
two,
excited.
both of the Spompanato brothers from at RBQ live on the Cape, so I'm definitely gonna try to catch up with them.
You'll be hanging with all the rock stars in the Cape.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Hi, Marsh. We
Hey,
missed
Marshall.
you. Wow. So then you're house sitting for the week
Yeah,
and then
and
drive up to the Cape.
yeah, probably just after Christmas, or like maybe the 28th, 29th, somewhere in there. So I'll spend New Year's up on Cape Cod. It looks like
Oh,
that's nice.
very nice. And then
And
after that,
I'll be awaiting the news about the house. Like once I get that money, I got to get myself back into the city and find myself a place to live. So
but wasn't there some thought of being in the California area, like in the
there
January?
was some thought. There was some thought, but I don't think it's really practical until this thing is resolved. Because uh, I can't go look at apartments except virtually from LA. So
Right.
uh, yeah. So I think I'll wait it out on this coast.
So no Mexico then.
Definitely not doing Mexico. No, the timing is just not right.
Well, maybe if you're still around, if you've got a place by that time and you feel like going meeting me in Portland, Maine, what do you think of that? Did you see that poster?
I saw that poster. That. When is that?
March 1st, 2nd, and 3rd.
Well, you never know. I have a friend who also lives part of the time in Maine, so we'll keep that in mind. We'll see what else is going on. My
I've
life is
started Googling the people. I don't know everybody that are on the list,
uh-huh.
but as I'm Googling it, I'm like, damn, 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 damn. I'm playing with some cool people. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
should be.
So, well, so you don't know about the house yet, so we can't crack the champagne yet.
No, we can't, not until, I think every detail, we had to do some repairs at the behest of the buyer. And the realtor took the buyer to the house to check it out and seemed satisfied with everything, seemed still loving the house and, wanting to get in there. So
Such a cool
I,
house.
I don't think that anything can really happen to upset it at this point to scuttle the deal, but I've
We're
also learned
positive it's going to
never to
happen.
be too optimistic. I think it's going to happen, but
And if it doesn't, then something else will happen.
yeah, I'll start drinking heavily.
So where you're at now, are you eating with the people? Do you
We
guys?
we have some dinners together, and then we do things independently of one another. My thing is, I don't want to disrupt their routine at all. So they say, oh, we're going someplace. They went someplace tonight. They went to see some theater tonight, and I hung up here and I got to take out Mexican food. And I'm Mr. Self-sufficient, so I can handle any situation thrown at me. But yeah, we've had some nice dinners together, and they're incredibly wonderful and generous hosts and dear friends. So
Cool.
it's been swell.
And who's on your show tomorrow?
Tomorrow, Eric Krasno and Ross James, who's a Terrapin Family Band guy, the guy with the big long black beard, he's been in a lot of film and
Oh,
friends.
yes.
Yeah. So they have a new project. which is going to make its debut on New Year's Eve, I think in the Bay Area, no, in Colorado somewhere. And it's called Jimmy's Dead. And it's like, it's a Jimmy and Dead mashup, like Dead songs played in the style of Hendrix or something like that. So that should be pretty cool. And those guys are great. So they're going to come on to talk about that. And we have a couple of other just little things. Then it'll be the callers. The callers always drive the show.
Yes, they do. It's fun to watch.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then this week you're just going to be chilling.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a few things I just need to do, but nothing really. It's all on my own time. It's not like a real urgent thing. So
Go ahead.
I'm just biding time. That's my thing. I'm just biding my time until the deal is done.
Cool. What's happening next Saturday night?
Let's see. Next Saturday night. Well, here I'll be house sitting, so I'll have a very flexible situation. So I imagine it would be very doable for me to appear on 11:11 with Jenna.
Do you have any concerts coming up that you plan?
There's a lot of stuff coming up. I'm trying to decide, ration my time and I might go to the Village Vanguard to see Kenny Barron tomorrow, Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday. Yeah. That is dependent on a friend from out of town who's coming in and what her, you know her, Sharon, the sassy one.
Sharon.
Yeah, Sharon is visiting her parents in Connecticut.
Oh, Sharon, my ear is sassy right now.
I will mention that. I'll absolutely make note of the sassiness. Sharon's parents live in Norwich, Connecticut, and she's visiting them for the holidays, but she wants to make a day trip down to the city. So she's going to probably come down. We'll hook up. And we were talking about going to a Knicks game. Knicks are playing the Warriors on Tuesday.
Wow.
But first of all, Steph is out for a couple of weeks. And also the ticket prices for Knicks games are just so absurd.
Almost as much as they are for the Warriors.
Yeah, I'm probably about the same. They're absurd. So I can't justify. And if you buy them on the secondary market, then you're paying someone who already paid a markup for their Ticketmaster tickets, and then StubHub and all those services have their own markup. So you look at a ticket and say, oh, here's one for $170 way up in the upper deck. And then you look at the service charge and suddenly it's $230. And it's like, this is just, I can't justify that. Where I can go see, Kenny Barron for like $45 at the Vanguard and be absolutely transported. So that's my first choice, is to go to the Vanguard. And there's a lot of stuff coming up early in the new year. Joe Russo and the guys are going to celebrate the 10th anniversary of J-Rad. So they're doing 2 nights at the Brooklyn Bowl and 3 nights at the Capitol, I think. So there's a lot coming up. So, and I do remember the other thing that I did, the Friday night. My friends Ken and Maureen, my hosts here, are huge fans of this institution called the Losers Lounge in New York. Have you ever heard of the Losers Lounge? The Losers Lounge is this sort of collective of musical buddies, and some of them are like in pit bands for Broadway shows, and some of them are in rock bands, and some of them are jazz artists, and they stage these tribute shows, either to 1 or 2 different. Sometimes it's someone versus someone. It's like they'll alternate songs between 2 bands. So like next month they're doing Blondie versus the Pretenders.
Oh, cool.
Which ought to be a blast. So the one this Friday was ELO and Olivia Newton-John. The common thread between ELO and Olivia Newton-John is they were ELO did the music for, and Olivia Newton-John starred in the infamous legendary film Xanadu.
Xanadu.
Right. So they did these incredibly enjoyable versions of songs by those artists, and some of the songs from Xanadu, and then also some of the Olivia Newton-John standards and some of the ELO standards. And it's real, and they ham it up quite a bit. It's like, it's not reverent tribute stuff. It's like just more, it's the fun of it. And so that was really fun. If you ever get to New York when the Losers Lounge is playing, highly recommended.
Well, John Isley plays with them. John Isley,
Okay.
the horn player that played with me at Jazz at Lincoln Center, plays in the
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
They didn't have the horns at this show. They had strings because you need that for ELO definitely. So
So how
yeah.
big was the band?
Let's see. I think about 11, 10 or 11 people.
Yellow, you know, you
Yeah. 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 You gotta, well, you cover some of that with synths, and then they had like a cellist and a violinist who were both great.
how fun. Wow,
Yeah.
you've been doing some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I try.
You had any time to watch anything interesting?
Um, I got into Abbott Elementary, which is a lovely, it's a network sitcom, but it's kind of in the style of Modern Family, those more recent, where people are actually kind of talking to the camera um, and it's
Mockumentary
about
comedy
yeah,
type.
yeah, it's about an inner city school elementary school in Philadelphia, and it's very sweet and very funny.
And
So I
great.
watched a bunch of those.
Is that on ABC? You watch it right on the ABC?
I've been watching it on Hulu. I've been catching up with it on Hulu. Yeah, and now I'm caught up. They're in their second season. So
My mom and I tried to start watching something last night and we just couldn't get into it. So we're looking for something.
what
And
you try?
I can't even think of the name of it. What's the name of the, and you're probably going to go, oh, it's really great. Um, he was on The Office. And then now
Okay.
it's like
Yeah, I know.
an identity kind of guy, but not
Yeah,
as
I know. Right. I know the guy, and I can't think of the name of the show either, but I know what you're talking about.
and it's a
Yeah.
name. It's like
Yeah. Yeah.
James Bond, but it's not. And we're
Right.
watching. I'm like, let's just watch it. And someone's going to come up with it now and say it's. I'm sure it's a great show.
Mhm.
I, when you start something a little late, you're like,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, committing to something if it's gonna keep happening is. I just did start watching this. I think I'm 4 episodes into Slow Horses, which is sort of British thriller stuff. It's on Apple TV, and it's Gary Oldman is the main star, who is incredible. And it's
slow
this
horses.
Slow Horses. Yeah, it's very intense. It's edge of your seat stuff, cliffhanger stuff, like different kind of cliffhanger just about every week. Um, but it's very well done. It's got that sort of great dry British style, and yeah, it's I'm pretty hooked on that now.
Hmm. Maybe.
Maybe it's I mean, you have to be in a certain mood for it. It's not casual watching. You
Right.
know.
Neither is this other show.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's they're spies and they're talking about finances and stuff, and I was like watching it, going, I know I should really be getting what this is, but it was
Yeah.
it's time to go to bed.
The other challenge of Slow Horses is some really impenetrable British accents. You know? they're, they're talking
You
they're
watch
talking
it
in
with
they're
us.
talking they're talking in British slang, and you wish you had subtitles.
Yeah, a Yellowstone. I know people keep saying I just haven't done it yet.
I haven't. Yeah.
And the Louis Armstrong Black and Blues. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've
Yeah,
read about.
Gina says she would watch Gary Oldman read the phone book, so I agree. He's so great in this because I mean, Gary Oldman, he's
Ted
been
Lasso.
through a lot.
No, not Ted
Huh?
Lasso. I've seen Ted Lasso. No, I watched Ted Lasso. Yeah, but this
Yeah,
is
yeah,
not the one I'm thinking of. What's the
right.
I'm thinking of, you guys?
It's not the one with the guy who was also on Parks and Rec, is it?
Yeah, that kid.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. And I know him very well.
He's
I've
just
seen him in a lot of things.
alone, and he goes home and watches Jeopardy and knows all the
Yeah,
answers.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I'm totally blanking on the name.
I thought someone might put it out there, but
Yeah.
wow. Well, it's snowing here.
Uh-huh.
Pretty snow globe snowing, but
Oh, good.
it didn't feel as snow globey as I was driving back from
Mhm.
Sawyer. But it's snowing here, and I'm gonna kind of hide out here for a while and make food this week. And
Yeah.
gosh, what the heck is it called?
You know what? Let me I can look it up on the fly while we talk.
Bothering me now, just a little bit bothering me. It's come on, you guys. Da 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 da. I was going to go to. I think it's on Prime. So I
Oh,
was.
the one I'm thinking of, I'm pretty sure is on Apple, but I don't know. I don't know. Oh, never mind.
Oh, never mind. Oh, never mind. Well, so I'll see you next Saturday night.
Expect so.
Cool. Thank
Yeah.
you. By then we'll
Always.
have come up with something else to watch. But yeah,
I'm sure we
Yellowstone, I
will.
haven't done it. Have you done it? Have you done
I have
Yellowstone?
not. I have not.
They say it's good. I know Patty loves Yellowstone. She even has a Yellowstone t-shirt.
All right.
So we'll have a blast at the house, hanging
I
out.
will. Yeah.
I know
I'm
what you're talking
expecting to, I
about.
mean,
He's married to a British actress who played Mary Poppins. I don't know the name of the show.
oh no. Oh, okay.
That
That's John Krasinski, and he's married to Emily Blunt. Oh, is it Jack Ryan? Is that the
Jack
show? Jack Ryan?
Ryan. Yeah.
That's it. Okay, that was not the one I was thinking of, because there's
Okay.
another show that's on Apple TV that's got a guy from The Office and then later Parks and Rec. He was
Oh, that show.
yeah, he was yeah, it's a really like kind of dark thing too, but I haven't seen that one yet
I
either.
started to watch that. In fact, Steve Bissinger, the guitar player for Jenna and the Charmers, did the sound design for that show.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yes. Jack
I
Ryan.
love good sound. I love good sound design.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
That show is a real
okay, yeah, the show I'm thinking of is Severance.
severance.
And the guy, yeah, the star guy that who I think was also involved in creating the show.
Oh,
Um,
and it's
was
so interesting
also
because it's so dark compared to what he has normally done. It's like a whole other.
he's always been a lighter comedian. Adam Scott, that's who he is. Yeah, yeah, and he's always really good. I've always liked him.
Have you watched
But yeah,
the show? Now got
huh?
me thinking. Have you watched the other one with Billy Bob Thornton, where he's an attorney?
I have not yet. No, I have
Yeah,
not.
Severance. Yeah, Gina just said Severance is amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, well, good. There's
Okay.
just too much TV. There's with all the streaming, there's too much TV.
Yeah, and you don't even. That's all you need is just a stream. But yeah.
Yeah,
But then there's 11:11 with Jenna, and we're here every day. So you guys come back and hang out with me. We had a
Ev-
great karaoke on
every
Thursday,
day, every day, twice.
twice a day. It's
That's
coming
right.
up. March 23rd will be 3 years.
Amazing,
Yeah.
amazing.
Thank you so much for
Yeah.
being here. Thank you for just being such a like my brother. Thank you.
Well, that goes both ways.
I do. I do.
All right.
All right, kids. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Big hug.
Love heart.
Another big hug. Really hard.
Real hard. Night.
Right?